what we always tried to do was to live inside of the salary of one person and do things with the rest of the money, try to save, because rainy days are going to come. We know that. And I really think negatively of the mortgage officer we used. Was referred to me by a friend, did not come from my realtor, but the realtor always kind of looked at him the same way, because he kept this going all the way up to us going into contract on this house. Like, oh, you can be over at this place. There's a golf place, and there's beautiful homes, of course, but we would have been we might not have made it if we had moved into that neighborhood. I think a lot of people don't understand. They didn't understand what they were getting into, and that was very evident because the whole housing market just plummeted in 2008, 2009, all the way through 2011, and finally recovered around 2014 or so. But I do like working with people that are relocating to the area, and Atlanta is so big, you could grow up in Atlanta, in the city of Atlanta, and move out to Henry County, and it is like a relocation because it's a lot slower over here. Or you can move to Alpharetta, or from Alpharetta, it's different than Henry County. But I could move to Dallas, Georgia, and it would be different for me as well. So I just love reloads. And one great story, when working with one day I went to play golf. This is when I just started in real estate, didn't have any clients. And I was playing golf, and I gave a guy my card. I told him I worked in real estate. And he said, I think somebody may want to use you down the road. I thought nothing of it. I'm just doing my thing. 6 or 7 months later, maybe 3 or 4 months later, a guy called me from Boston. Yeah, you played golf for a while back with my son, Chris. And he said you're a pretty good guy. You don't cheat on the golf course. And, he thinks you can help me out. And I said, yes, sir. Yeah, I think I can. I mean, how can I help you? Well, he said, I'm trying to get a house down there, a second home, so I can be close to my granddaughter. And do you think you can help me with that? Now, my brain said, yeah, I can help you. My stomach was like, oh my God, what do we do? That's why you got to be at the right brokerage for anybody that's trying to start in the business. You have to be at the right brokerage that can assist you, because I'm going to tell you, my broker really was helpful in helping me to get through that first transaction. Moving a lot of paperwork around. The good thing is this was a great client for me, because they had purchased and sold more houses than I actually had lived in. And so they came down, they kind of knew what they were doing, and it really made the process easy for me. They were very easy to work with, and it was just fantastic. And I learned from them, but most importantly, I felt that I knew I could go on to help others, and I have since that was 2008, I think, when we closed on that property. Well, I guess I could say I focus on Atlanta, but if somebody twist my arm and say, where's your main focus? I primarily focus on the area known as the Southern Crescent of Atlanta. When you're talking about really servicing your clients with listings, being 90 minutes away, sometime, depending on the client, that could be a hindrance. So I focus on areas that are within an hour of my own home. So that would be like Fayette County, Henry County, where I live, Clayton County, and Rockdale County. So, but I've helped people in DeKalb County, Fulton County, and because when you do a good job, word spreads, and other people want that same level of customer service. I actually helped someone relocate from a western state to Paulding County, which is way north of here. And it worked out fine, because that client as well, had a lot of experience with buying homes. And we got the job done. So I've been living in the Henry County area for about 2 decades. So I'm primarily focused on the ups and downs of this area, while keeping a close eye on what's going on in Atlanta, in Decatur, Georgia, the larger areas, north of me. I feel that's what gives me pretty good insight and awareness. It helps me find the appropriate price range for my clients, whether they're buying or selling. The key to giving your clients your absolute best is to make sure that you're able to give your clients the time they need, and to establish clear lines of communications, including the time of day they want to be contacted, the methods they want to use, email, text message. Certain people you can't text. You got to call them. Some people like emails, they don't like text, whatever it may be. And the frequency. Some people, once you meet them, you need to be contacting them, one time in the morning, once in the, in the evening, maybe even before before bedtime, depending on where you are in the home buying or the home selling process. If there are multiple clients, if there are multiple clients in need of my assistance, scheduling is very important. So any other times when you just got to burn the midnight oil to get the job done, because once you enter into an agreement with the clients, there's no time to say, oh, what happened? I did this. You want to be as professional as you possibly can. Now, there are clients that need more attention, more direction, more explanation than others, which is fine, because this can be an overwhelming experience for people. And there are others, like I said, there are other clients that change houses more than they change cars. And that's because of who they may work for the military. The corporation may move them around, maybe not in Atlanta, but move them from Atlanta to Chicago, and they're in and out. They may change a lot. I got a neighbor that he's moved, I think he said 10 times in 20 years, and he worked for the federal government. There are people that they have to move like that because that's how their jobs are crafted. That's how they move up or get other opportunities. But these more experienced clients, they don't want to be taken for granted. They don't want you to say, well, I got a sign in front of his house and it's going to sell, and then call him, tell him to come to the closing. No, they've been through the process and they've seen enough agents to know where you rank along the way. So you want to do your best to be up here, because you never know who else they know in the area that may need your assistance. So